What's going on? Okay. So tonight I want to talk to you guys about getting your home care agency ready for Q3. If you know what Q3 means, uh, drop an emoji. We're getting our home care agencies ready for Q3. And put that in the comments. Getting our home care agencies ready for Q3. Hey, how are you? So tonight we're going to talk about getting our home care agencies ready for Q3. If you know what Q3 means, do me a favor and drop an emoji in the got blank paper. I'm going to be taking down some notes as you guys talk to me about some stuff. So tonight, I want it to first be a little bit interactive because I have some things I really want to share with you, but I don't want it to be like lecture where I'm talking at you. I really want you to tell me what's been going on because guess what? With it being May 29th, we are knocking at the door of Q3. So we got January, February, March. That was Q1. April, May, June. Hey, how are you? April, May, June. We're knocking at the door Q3. Right? How many know that? And so if you are an existing home care agency, this is especially for you. If you are an existing home care agency, this is especially for you. Now, if you are an aspiring home care business owner, please listen up. Listen up because you will be there. But if you're an existing home care business owner, first do me a favor and drop the number one. Existing home care business owners. Existing home care business owners, drop the number one. Existing home care business owners. And I see some of my mentees joining in. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. I see some of my mentees joining in. Like I said, tonight we're talking about, okay, all right, and where are you located? Tell me where you're located. For those of you who are existing home care business owners, where are you located? And I'm not saying that if you are an aspiring home care business owner, this won't pertain to you, but there are some things that you should have accomplished in Q1 and Q2 before you get to Q3. What I'm going to share with you tonight is what I usually do in Q3, which is quarter three. I'm going to wait for you guys to tell me to be productive and prosperous. Can somebody productive and prosperous in the comments? Productive. Okay. Hey, Ohio. Great. Productive and prosperous in the comments. Okay. I want to make sure you guys are following me. There are some things that I did as a home healthcare agency in about this time to be productive and prosperous. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. All right. Make sure you guys are following me. Okay. So again, remember I said Q1 was January, February, March. Q2 is April, May, June. So we're approaching the close of Q2, and I want you guys to tell me, how have you been doing? Like, I almost wish this was a live chat. I want you to tell me, if you're an existing agency, how have you been doing? Have you been doing good, or have you not been doing good? And I want you to talk to me about what that looks like, because this is like a thermometer time. You know how, like, you have a kid, so you put the thermometer in your mouth, or you do the the one that goes on your head, and you find out what the temperature is. Well, for this, we're finding out where are we with our business, and it will be really, really clear with how productive you have been. So, does anybody share? I would love to invite people up. Anybody want to share? I'm going to skip this part, right? I'm going to send out a couple of invites if people want to join and let me know how have they been doing in their home. Sorry, I'm trying to pull this up. Okay. All right. I think I have someone. Are you on? I can't hear you. Hello? Okay, there you are. All right. So you're in Ohio, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And how long have you been in business?
I've been in business 6 years.
Yay! Congratulations. That's a big deal.
So we do home care through the Department of Developmental Disabilities.
Okay.
But I recently just got my non-medical so that I can offer services outside of DD. So when you mentioned engaging thermometer, I feel like I'm kind of lukewarm when it comes to the non-medical.
Mm-hmm.
Things have been pretty steady for the DD home care side of things, but I'm looking to expand, and I just feel like I've been really lukewarm on the non-medical piece.
Okay. Now, what made you get into the DD side?
My background, I'm a registered nurse, and I worked in a hospital, and then I did home care case management, and that led me to open up my own home care agency.
Okay, great. And so, how long have you been doing the what you call it? How long have you been doing? How long has the non-medical side started? When did you start that?
So I got certified for that maybe about 6 to 8 months ago.
Okay.
I've been kind of in a standstill because I'm in the process of also getting certified with Medicare, because trying to have like a private pay, I feel a little stuck with that in offering services in our area, and it only being private pay for like the non-medical. So I'm trying to see if I expand and get credentialed through Medicare and our other insurances, Buckeye, if that will give me more clientele for the medical. Well, it's not medical right now, but I'm also trying to switch that to offer PT, OT, in like all of those services.
Okay. All right. And what part of Ohio are you in?
I'm in Toledo.
Toledo. Okay. Toledo, Ohio. Okay. So, checking your temperature, from what I hear, is you have a successful business right now, and now you're adding on a new branch or a new arm of kind of, because you're staying in the healthcare industry. It's not like you say, yeah, I'm about to go open up a boutique, right? So you're staying in the healthcare industry. Um, but what I hear is that you're focusing on credentialing to aspire to get maybe more higher paying clients. Am I right about what I'm hearing? Because you have.
I'd like to expand outside of just DD. And so with my current certification with the state, it's limiting me to those with developmental disabilities.
Mhm.
And I, I do want to expand to home health care to offer it for anyone that needs those services at home.
Right. No, I got that part. But
Oh, okay.
now that you're licensed, you told from what I thought I heard that you're licensed for the past 6 to 8 months as a non-skilled home care
Right.
agent, right? But
Yes.
you said you don't want to be limited to just private pay. So now are you trying to do the home health side?
Yes.
Okay. So it seems like you're continuing to build a business credential wise, but not operational or business
Right.
development wise.
I definitely feel stuck. So
Okay.
you're right with that.
So you're building it like, okay, maybe if I have this, then I'll be able to get more clients.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So why is that?
I don't know, to be honest. I think maybe I'm just limiting myself, or to be honest, maybe I'm just a little nervous about putting myself out there, and will I get those who's willing to do private pay? I think, maybe it's just like a mental thing with me, to be honest.
Yeah, a lot of people are terrified of private pay because they can't wrap their mind around why would somebody want to take their own money and pay for services, and how long does that last? And so they can't wrap their mind around it. So they feel the safety net is to do government, look for funding sources through the government. That's our Medicaid, or Medicare is, federal government. When you say you're going through that route, do you understand that path? Because that's not a fast track process.
I'm finding that out. I've been going through this process since November. So
Yep.
I am learning, it's definitely a marathon, not a race with that process.
Okay. And so you've gone through this since November, and what would it look like if you spent 6 months focusing on the non-medical side and growing that? What would that look like?
I feel that it could be successful. I do. I do get a lot of inquiries about it. Like I said, I think it's just an unknown for me, because when you're dealing with Medicaid with DD, the funds are coming regularly. And so this just seemed like the unknown for me. So if I dedicated that next 6 months, I'm pretty confident I would see, definitely some benefits and growth in doing that. To be honest, it's just new to me. And this probably just me hindering myself.
Okay, it's outside of our comfort zone, and the things that happen outside of our comfort zone do scare us, right? But that stretching is going to be really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
That stretching is going to be really good. So, right now, let me see. I'm going to pull something up. Okay, so I just did a random Google search, and one thing I was trying to look for is the total amount of seniors in Toledo, right? And 15.5% is it's a pretty decent number. some places might say, what you call it, 7%. Let me see one more thing. Let me look at the Census Bureau. See if it gives me a little bit more accurate number. So it says that the total population in general for Toledo is 265,306. That's the total population. Did you know that?
No.
Okay, so 10% of 265,000 is 26,000, right? So let's say 15%, let's round it up to 30,000. Let's just round it up to 30,000 seniors. Out of those 30,000 seniors, do you think you could maybe get like 25 clients?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay. That's why I said, what would that look like if you focus on your business for about 6 months?
That's doable.
Okay, because you got 30,000 potential clients. Now, not everybody needs home care.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody will be able to pay out of pocket. But out of that 30,000, even if we dropped it to half, to 15,000, and then we split that up again to about 7,500. So let's say we have people that's already in the marketplace. Then have you spoken? Do you think that 7,500 people know about your business?
No.
Okay. But what do you think will change if you get credentialed with Medicare? Do you think you would now just have clients flocking to you, or will you still have to market your business?
Oh, I definitely still would need to market. I thought it would be more appealing to those who are unable to, pay privately. But I know I definitely will have to market either way I go.
Right. And do you know that Medicare does not cover non-skilled care?
Yeah.
Okay. So how many asking questions, 7,500 people needs the skilled care from a Medicare?
How many?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Okay. From your experience as a nurse, if someone, say for example, went into the hospital or rehab with a stroke and they came out and then they were getting Medicare services, how long would that last?
Depending on, it's usually like the first 30 days, maybe 3 times a week. And then, of course, with insurance, it's not going to continue, especially if they're kind of plateauing or they've reached their goals. So it wouldn't last very long if it wasn't approved.
So we're looking at a Medicare client that could possibly last 30 days, and then we got to find another one.
Right.
So we don't have longevity with these clients.
Right.
And you're okay with that?
I'm not so much okay with that. I just felt like it was a place to start and kind of be able to offer, like I said, multiple services beyond just private pay. And it could just be my lack of understanding with it, but I just thought it would be, to be able to offer multiple services beyond just non-medical.
Okay.
And then private pay,
Okay. So it definitely sounds like you could benefit from learning a little bit more about your new business because you know your your other business very well, but doesn't sound like you know your new business very well. You understand it as a nurse, but you don't know it like a business owner should know it.
You're right. You're right about
Okay, so that would be a suggestion that you get that a little bit more accurate.
And I believe that that's really another reason why I haven't went all the way with it, because I know I need to get more understanding on that side of things. Like you said, on the nursing aspect, I get it, but I've watched your lives a few times, and you provide a lot of good information. And just like you just Googled and got percentages on seniors. Those are I need to do things like that and just do more research on it as well.
Right. That's why, like in my home care Kickstarter program, that's one of the things that we do in like our first 2 sessions. Like, and most people would think, oh, that's like, I don't want to do a business plan. Well, we have to plan out what our business looks like. And so doing the market research is essential. And the boring things always make us more money. Doing the boring things always make us more money. I always talk about how when I hated to go do, my books, my bookkeeping. Jasmine said the business plan kicked my yes. But now that it's set up, guess what? Now it's done. And next thing that's gonna kick your butt, Jasmine, is when we do the social media content. So, but yeah. All right. So I wanted to talk with you because I do like it to be a little bit more interactive. If you're on YouTube and you want to maybe come on, and you're an existing home care or home health care agency, I want to hear where you guys are before I start really breaking down what we need to be doing. And so I'm gonna take you off now because I feel like we have a good gauge. I feel like a good goal for you is to, number one, get a better understanding about your business, right? To really know what your business and to know who your clients are. So that's the two main things.
Okay.
There is a Medicaid side in Ohio. I didn't hear that you pursued that.
I think I mentioned that earlier. Where is that with the credentialing with and like the other insurances? So I'm networking with the people. Like I said, this is kind of out of my comfort zone. So I was just given information on how to do that process, but I haven't started that yet.
Thanks for liking the live. Yes. That is a easier first step than Medicare.
Okay.
It's an easier first step.
I'll definitely look into it. And I'll get on your YouTube channel as well. And I did look at your classes, so I am interested in that. Thanks for having me join and, pushing me a little bit. I need it.
Thanks. You're welcome. Yep. And I'm going to exit you off. Yep. We're actually going to be having and I'm going to talk about that later, but we're going to be having like a business boot camp. Guys, let me not say boot camp. A business summer school. But first, again, my name is Sean, aka the Savvy Business Chick, making sure you know your purpose and destiny in the marketplace. And tonight, I wanted to talk to you about what, especially for my existing home care businesses, we're doing like temperature checks. Where are you in your business? Because we are approaching the end of Q2. And there are certain things that you should be kind of a little proficient at this stage of your business, even if you started 8 months ago. So if you are an existing home care business owner, give me the number 1. If you are an aspiring home care business owner, give me a number 2. So usually I'm talking to my aspiring. Tonight, I want to speak mostly to my existing home care business owners. And for those of you who are aspiring, just listen because you're going to be here soon. I don't even want to say one day. You're going to be here soon. Okay, thank you. Great. All right. So usually I used to say, guys, that the summertime is okay. Hi, comma. If you want to come up, I'm going to see if I can invite you. I want to talk to existing home care business owners. So to send you an invite. I used to say, and this is like definitely a mindset shift. I used to say the summertime is slow for home care. And part of that is true, guys. Things do slow down in the summertime. But guess what? It does not have to be, right? It does not have to be if we plan it well. And the reason why I say it doesn't have to be because I have friends, aka business colleagues, good evening, and who have mastered, and even I did, but I used to talk that talk. Oh, it's slow during the summer. And if you feel like things slow down in the summer, it's because you're not doing the proper planning or you didn't do enough in the springtime, right? So why would things kind of slow down in the summer for home care? Number one, you sometimes tend to have, oh, okay, no problem. You can have more challenges with caregivers, interestingly, in the summertime, right? If they want a vacation, I had a lot of young nurses. So they wanted to go out to the party, they wanted to go on vacation. And so at one point, oh, thank you so much for the roses. I was struggling with, balancing my nurses in the summertime until I got a plan, right? So because if you see something happening, oh, great, thank you so much. Oh, I appreciate it. If you see something happening, then the next time you should have foresight so that doesn't happen to you again, right? If something happening, the next time you should have foresight so it doesn't happen again. So I planned in advance well before the summertime came to boost my recruitment. Oh, wow. My recruitment campaign, my recruitment plan increased prior to the summer. So I didn't have to deal with that anymore. Oh, wow. Thank you. And thank you so much for the roses. I really, really appreciate it. All right. So if you're an existing business owner, I want you to type in the word recruitment plan. A recruitment plan is how you are going to actively get your caregivers, your CNAs, your home health aides, your companions into your agency. How are you going to actively do that? Because a lot of home care agencies, they do it as a reaction, not being proactive, right? So at this time of the year, when you are at the end of Q2, going into Q3, you should have a clear caregiver recruitment system. I'm going to say that again. You should have a clear caregiver recruitment system. This is what larger agencies are doing. This is what my agency does. And this is what I'm going to be teaching I think we're going to be going over this coming Monday in the Home Care Kickstarter program. Having a clear caregiver recruiting system. It has to be a system, not a reaction. It has to be a system, not a reaction. A system looks like this. This is something that we do anyway, this in spite of, right? Doesn't matter. Your pipeline for your clients and your marketing is one thing. Your pipeline for how you're getting caregivers is another, and they both should be flowing. And notice I used the word pipeline. That means if you know anything about pipes, and you don't have to be a plumber, you know that you can have clogs, right? You can have clogs in your pipes, meaning things get stuck. Why would things get stuck in your recruitment system? Well, you may find out that the people you have in your office, or even the people that you outsource, the VA or a recruiter, they don't get through the applications fast enough, right? They don't get through it fast enough to keep people interested in the possible position or even working for your company. That's a clog in your system, right? That's a clog in your system. And then having a clear recruitment system says, hey, you know what? We're doing a lot of marketing over here. So I need more caregivers. I need some more nurses in this county, in this city. So having your system should tell you all those things. Your system will tell you all those things. One of the things that I did after I learned this lesson, and it only took me one time to learn it, is if you're familiar with the term client satisfaction survey, I don't want to do numbers. Give me the letter A. If you're familiar with the term client satisfaction survey, give me the letter A. Give me the letter A while I drink some of my chlorophyll water. You see how dark this is? Okay. Thank you. Okay. So with the client satisfaction survey, guys, you know, we are getting feedback from our clients. How do you like the agency? How well are we doing? How do you like your caregivers? How well are they doing? Is there anything we can improve? We need to do the same thing for our employees. We need to give our employees a employee satisfaction survey. Only thing is that is asking different questions. Now we're asking different questions. Here are the questions we ask. Hey, how do you like working for this agency? We can, just like we make it random with the client, we make it random with the employees, right? Because if the employee doesn't want to tell on somebody like a supervisor, we make it. You can submit this anonymously. What would you improve with the agency? We, instead of making it like essay, we give multiple choice, pay rate, benefits, training, whatever you think, we put it up there. What do you like best about the company? We like the pay rate. We like the holiday party. We like the acknowledgement. You need to find out whatever you do that's good, because you want to keep it, because guess what? Your current employees love it. So that means potential employees will love it too. And then we're adding that to our benefit package. It might not be a 401k. It might not be tuition reimbursement, but these are all the things you get for working at this company. And so you survey your existing clients, and this is existing employees. And that's why I said this is specifically for people who have an agency. Because if you don't have an agency, guess what? You don't have workers to survey. But when you get the workers, don't survey them right away. Let them work for your agency for a period of time. And then once a year, we're doing this employee. Let me see if I can find one of mine. Mine is pretty detailed. Let's see, employee, and we employee satisfaction survey. Okay. It might be my other computer. If you like that idea, if you like that idea, let me know. Host home providers. What do you mean host home providers? You mean if you have like a group home or assisted living? Yeah, you could do that too. Okay, I can't tell if it's pulling out. Okay, it's pulling. Okay. Yes. Yes. You need to survey your staff. We the smartest agencies, whether they're home care, home health care, residential service providers, they have a good recruiting system and a good scheduling system. You can't have a good scheduling system without a good recruitment system, because you need to be able to know what will make your workers want to work for you. Right? Okay, great. What will make your workers want to work for you? I don't know. It's that form is not coming up. I just want to show you guys what. Okay. All right. Okay, thank you. You love it. Okay, we'll make it. Okay, so what you should have built by now, if you're in Q2, what you should have built by now is we went over number one. You should have a clear recruitment system. If you have a recruitment system, give me the emoji, the thumb up emoji. If you have a recruitment system, give me the thumb up emoji. If you don't have a recruitment system, give me the thumb down emoji. And it's a little bit too long for me to go into what needs to be in the system. But this is a system that you need to have in place. And it happens every time a new person comes in. Okay, we do have a training in our resource lab or our resource section on the home care operational for underneath our home care operations that will help you with the recruitment system, because there are, let me see, I got the applicant screening, the testing, I think essentially there's about 7 parts to this. I'm writing it down. There's about 7 parts to this. And I'm going to break it down in my training on Monday. You have the way that your caregiver, your worker gets into your pipeline through your recruitment system. Then you have the screening process. You have that testing process. You know, all of our states ask for competency. They want to know, how are you checking the competency? Then we have the interviewing and hiring, orientation, and processing. So I just gave you the categories. Now, what's the system? You want the system? Like I said, get that from our, I think it's a 2-part or 3-part video underneath the resources. If you click the link in my bio. So you need that. You need to have a clear caregiver recruitment system. Next, what you should have by now already built if you're an existing home care business, which I already know most of you do not have. You need to have some kind of marketing calendar. Do you have a marketing? I didn't even say marketing plan. Guess what? Do you have a marketing calendar? Do you have this is what I do in June versus what I do in September. Do you have a marketing calendar? If you have it, give me a Y for yes. If you don't have it, give me an N for no. A marketing calendar. Do you have a marketing calendar? This is something we're going to be working on in the upcoming business summer school. A marketing calendar. What I love about the marketing calendar is that I can use it year after year. And it's only some things that change, right? It's only a few things that change. It has a clear structure because you should have, every home care CEO should have a 12-month marketing campaign. You should have a 12-month marketing campaign. Why? You shouldn't just be like, oh, June is here. What am I going to do? We shouldn't be doing like that. We should say, okay, boom. This is what we need to be doing. And I put a post on my stories on Instagram, and I said, you need to treat your marketing like it's a job, not a hobby, because a lot of you do not like marketing. You have a certain anxiety about marketing, and you're willing to hire a marketer. And some of you have even hired a marketer only for them to waste your money, because guess what? They marketed to you. Oh yeah, we can do that. We'll get you this. We'll do this. We'll do that. We'll do that. And you're like, oh yeah, you can do all that. Great, because I don't want to do it. I hate doing it. Like, yep, we can do it. And then they go do it. And guess what? They don't get you qualified leads. They send you people that you can't provide service to because they're in the wrong program, or they're in the wrong scope of services. Maybe they're skilled and you're unskilled. Like to speak to me, click the link in my bio. I spoke to 15 people today. So I have free calls on Thursdays, and if you want to skip the line and speak to me before then, there is a way you can pay to talk to them. Right? All right. So number one, a clear caregiver or nurse recruitment system. Number two, some kind of marketing calendar. And I had I thought I had one of those calendars from Staples, right? Like the big desk calendars. But it almost needs to be like that. Like, it would be great if you can go get one of those calendars from Staples and, find yourself at June and to say, what am I going to be doing week 1, right? Week 1 of June. What am I going to be doing week 2 of June? And not only will that marketing calendar help you with your strategy and your marketing activities, it also will help you with your social media account, because we should be doing online or digital marketing as well as traditional. Again, this is something we're going to go over in the upcoming home care business summer school. Last year we called it the accelerator, but we're calling it business summer school. Why? Because why do people even go to summer school, right? They go to summer school because they're trying to get caught up, right? They didn't do as well, maybe in this subject or this subject, and they're trying to get caught up. Do you feel like you need to get caught up so that you can be ready for the fall, which is one of our busiest and prosperous times of the year? Okay. All right. Now, here is, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I have 7 things that you should have by now. I'm the last one that I'm going to share with you. You should have a clear caregiver recruitment system. You should have some kind of marketing calendar. Then this is where I differ from a lot of other people. I'm in the DMV. You should have a defined service area. A defined service area. I was talking to, I don't see her name right now, Keys. I was talking to Miss Keys earlier, and she said she's in Toledo. She's in a defined service area. She could be the premier home care agency in Toledo if she matches that with a signature service. Can we put that in the comments? I will have a defined, well, you can just say service area, signature service. That might be too much for y'all to type. Service area plus signature service. That is how you really stand out. Service area, signature. I'm starting a non-medical home care business. Where are you located, B? So if you started in January, or let's say you started a little bit before then, you should have this by now. You should have those 3 things by now. And there's some other things on the list that are, somebody might say, oh, really? But you should have these 3 things by now, because you're in 2022. Sunday is June 1st. You are halfway through the year. So if you are struggling with this, then you are really going to have some challenges throughout the summer, because you haven't built a good foundation and you're an existing business. Thank you again. Thank you so much. Signature area, start signatures. Okay, so let me know what is your signature area. And please don't say your entire state. Please don't tell me your entire state. If you're following me, please do me a favor. Put down, what's your signature area? What's your signature area? Florence. Okay, great. All right. Cassandra, are you an existing home care business owner? I was just talking to one of my mentees in South Carolina last night. Florence. One of my mentees in Florida, one of her clients, she developed this so good that one of her clients said, "You've got to have some of the best caregivers in Jacksonville." Now, wouldn't you want to be known for having some of the best caregivers in boop, boop, boop? So that's how you have a signature area. Then, when you add on the signature offer, now for a lot of you, you may not, I say offers, let me say service. A lot of you may not, can't wrap your mind around, how do I have a signature service? Because you're only thinking in acronyms. What are those acronyms? ADLs. All you guys think is ADLs, 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 ADLs. And that is not the language that your client speaks in. Your client doesn't understand ADLs. They know they do it, but if you present your signature service as ADLs, you're going to lose them. You're going to lose them because they don't understand what it means. That is industry jargon. That's business to business jargon. That's me coming to you saying, okay, so you do ADLs, you do. That's how we talk to each other. We don't talk to our clients that way. We don't talk to our clients' decision makers that way because that's industry jargon. You guys got that? That's industry jargon. So, yeah, that is a good signature service. That is a good signature service. That is a good signature service. You can really develop that. Okay. Are you already unskilled? Excellent customer service is not a service that they would buy. Kayla, it's something they get as a result of the service that they have with you. It's not a service they would buy. So, what you want? How long have you been in business, Cassandra? We'll try to bring you up. Okay. How long have you been in business? Yes. I like your answer, but it's not a service they buy. It has to be a service that they're buying.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Fine. How are you?
Good. Okay, so how long have you been in business?
Well, I actually just received my license from DHEC last week. I started the process in January. I'm not sure why it took so long.
Because they backed up?
Yeah. But I just received my license last week, so I'm kind of in that next stage. I applied with Medicaid on Tuesday. I kind of already have my little office space and everything. I'm just trying to get to it. I'll come up in there at some healthcare events here locally, and then I'm gonna try to push the market to the case managers and everything.
Okay.
I'm really nervous about it.
Okay, so what's your background? I'm just curious.
What with service, or you mean my background? Like currently, that's what I do.
What do you do?
I'm a pediatric registered nurse.
I could pick that up. You know why?
Why?
Because you said you wanted to do skilled immediately after you said, what do you think about companion care?
Yes, I would like to offer skilled services to the pediatric population as well as adult and geriatric.
I gotta ask my nurses a question. Why do you wonderful human beings always want to do skilled? You're not satisfied. you gotta just have an extension of what you do at work, and that's not how business works.
I know, because my aunt, she has an agency here in one of the surrounding cities, and she's doing very well with in-home care, like very well.
So that's why I asked you, why would you? That's why I asked you, why would you want to do skill? You just got licensed. It's almost like telling God, yeah, thank you for that little bit, but I want to do the bigger thing. I want to do the bigger thing.
I guess I'm scared because with the in-home care, you got like you really you're gonna really have to like promote yourself to get the clients. But I hear as far as like skills, you can kind of get more referrals to like Medicaid long term. You know,
That's not true.
it's not.
No, it's the same kind of marketing, number one. And now it's more responsibility because you can't do any skilled care without getting a doctor's order,
Yes.
right?
Right.
You can't do any skilled care without doing a doctor's order.
Hmm.
Right. So imagine that. Imagine, you know, you can't make the same kind of moves in home care as you would a facility.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not pushing you away from that, but you do know with your state skill, you have to get a certificate of need if you want to be skilled.
Okay. Okay. You want to master non-skilled first because it's like I feel like I'm gonna set myself up if I don't have any clients yet. So if I try to go ahead and skip to skills without any clients and don't really know the ropes, know how to go or build, I'm trying to set myself up for failure and bite off more than I can chew.
Yep, you will.
Yeah, so
And guess what? Also, you're not giving your business a chance.
That's true. That's true.
I hear kids in the background. So you're a mom.
Mom 5.
Oh, I'm a mom of 2, but I come from a big family. And like, if you were a mama bird, you would just drop those kids from a tree, right? Be like, you better fly. But guess what? We don't do that in real life. So you don't have to get dropped from a tree and be flying in your business.
Yes.
So you being a little bit too hard on yourself. Just so you know.
I know.
So I'm gonna give you a little bit of some of the advice I gave to Miss Keys. I need you to slow down. I need you to learn your business. And you said you've been licensed for how long?
I've been licensed for a week.
Okay, so I need you to act like a 1-week-old. You still nursing or drinking a bottle? I need you to act like a 1-week-old. I don't need you to act like a 1-year-old. I need you to act your age, right?
Yes.
And give yourself some grace, okay? Learn your business. It's gonna be fine, right?
Right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, guys. I need for you guys to just be a little bit patient with the process. Success doesn't happen overnight, it happens over time. And if you've heard some of my testimony, my success story, you might be like, oh, I want to do it like Sean. I want to be like Sean, right? And I even get that question where people say, I want to get to the level that you got. Well, I share what my year 2 looks like, but I also tell you guys what my year 1 looks like, where it was so many things going on that by the time I realized that the company had generated 2.3 million in revenue, I was completely surprised. Why? Year 1 was extremely stressful. I thankfully I got my first private pay client 24 hours within 45 days of starting, and that kept me going for a while. Then I got another 8 hour private pay client, right? And then that was good. That helped me to be able to afford my nurse, right? But after that, I was doing tremendous marketing because that's something I'm really, really good at. But I ran into problems with Care First, with Blue Cross Blue Shield. They weren't paying me. Me getting Medicaid credential took 9 months, right? I ran into some problems with my business partner. I initially had a business partner who was a solid business partner. She didn't help with any of the policies and procedures. She didn't help with any of the credentialing. She didn't help with anything other than we split some of the bills that came in, and she was off doing some other stuff. So I had some problems with her. So I was constantly getting challenges, working really, really hard. Um, and then everything is kind of like right before the Medicaid approval came through, I was at the most stagnant place that I think I've ever been in my life. And everything was just like, felt like it was at a standstill. Was at a standstill. And then, boom, the approval came through. And I was like, okay, the approval came through. And then things just sped up. So I went back to those same places that I was doing marketing. And I was like, okay, now I'm Medicaid certified. Now I'm Medicaid certified. And so I was getting um, new referrals, but I was smart enough to still have nurtured those referrals. I didn't wait for them. I didn't wait to nurture those relationships while I was built in my building stage and my credentialing stage. I was marketing, if not um, if not twice a month, at the minimum once a month. I was going out actively meeting with people, different people, going to meetings, going to conferences, meeting referral sources. And so a lot of times when people say they want to do some of the things that I've done, I have yet to see maybe two of my mentees do it at the level that I've done it. And that's why I do have two mentees who have hit over 1 million within their first year because they have been as aggressive as me. If you're not able to, oh no, thank you. If you're not able to do it in that way because you got vacations planned, you got kids. I have kids, children now too. I did not have children when I first started my first home care business. If you're not able to do it in that way, then don't don't be disappointed when it doesn't happen as fast. But I think maybe the first year we were probably at like maybe like we were at six figures. Like I said, I didn't even notice it. I didn't even notice it until I think we're at like 362 or something like that. I found one of my old company uh, tax returns. I said I was going to show it to you. That's the year that we reached our first 5 million, right? And I said, okay. So by the time we got to the next year, I did not. I was so busy. I was so busy grinding. I didn't even realize it. I didn't even realize it. The accountant had to tell me, okay, we gotta issue out some, company dividends. What we're gonna do with the profit. Oh, I can give myself a raise. Pay myself, I think, $12 an hour. It was either $12 or $15 an hour. I can give myself a raise then. I can make a real salary. Yeah, my first year, I paid myself to keep money in the company. I think. But with that being said, don't put too much pressure on yourself. But I'm trying to help you. Oh, thank you. I'm trying to help you get to be stronger than where I was. So, with that being said, I have been saying I wanted to do like a business boot camp. I wanted to do it in the spring, but honestly, my home care Kickstarter took up too much of my time. So now that will be concluding in about 2 or 3 weeks. And I want to do a 5 week um, business summer school for existing home care business owners. And this is what we're going to cover. We're going to help you with um, getting your business operations, let's say operations up to par, right? One of the operations that you need to be smooth with for existing business owners is your scheduling and your recruitment. We're going to look into that and we're going to help you smooth out whatever you have existing in place. So we're going to be doing like an audit probably on our first session, an audit of your existing operations. And I'm in a training right now where I'm taking something for TikTok actually because TikTok keeps changing. So I took a class with one of the influencers and I kind of like what she did. And even though it seemed kind of mundane, we were on Zoom for 2 hours and she went through everybody's account. And I said, you know what? Not only did that benefit the person because they were sharing their screen, that benefited the other people who were watching. And I said, sometimes we need that, right? Sometimes we need that. And so then we're gonna go into the strategies you need to be doing over the next 3 to 4 months to kind of build yourself some traction. So we're going to be focusing on trying to get you guys off of these A Place for Mom ads. You guys love A Place for Mom only to complain about them. So we're gonna get you on to some good campaigns for social media, the Google ads and the Facebook ads. I know you're like, I know how to do Facebook ads. If you did, they will be working. If you did, you will be getting people contacting you. So we're going to come up with a whole new social media strategy for you and teach you how to do an actual content calendar. So that's going to be running while we're in this challenge, right? And we're going to even help you with getting better on like TikTok and other platforms. Like we're going to do Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. So we got the Google ads, Google and Facebook ads. We're going to help you increase your SEO so that you can be found organically online. That's really important. Before you even do any ads, be found organically online. During the summer months, we have a lot of expos that come up, outdoor events. We're going to be focusing on how you can get exposed at these trade shows. Thank you for the parts. Trade shows, senior events, senior expos. And hey, if you want to, go look them up, right? We're going to be going over the strategy. Sometimes the people do the activity, but they miss the strategy. And so when you miss the strategy, guess what? You miss the how it will work better for you, right? Oh yeah, I do those all the time. I go to those events all the time. If it's not working for you, that means there's something that you're not doing to bring the results. And then we're going to be going over how you're going to be partnering with respite companies. Respite companies do a lot of referring over the summer and the holidays. That's the 2 times they have the most highest referral when they refer out people needing assistance. And then lastly, we're going to, is there going to be a lot of marketing? Yes, because we want to try to help you generate some sales. Then we're going to be going, the last thing we're going to go over how to get 24-hour clients. I'm going to be sharing how to get like hospice clients, 24-hour clients. And all the while, you're going to be like with one hand, making sure that your operations is running smooth so that you have a good infrastructure. On the other hand, we're going to be doing this balancing act of marketing, operations, marketing, operations, marketing, operations. So that's what I've decided to do for you this summer. That's summer school. And that should bring you up to speed. That should bring you up to speed. So if we're starting June 12th. And let me see, June 12th. I'm just looking at my calendar. So let's think about doing June the 12th through to either July the 14th or July the 21st, because 4th of July is going to be Friday this year. So I may have to, just in case we're not finished by that. Like I normally take like a family trip around that time. But yeah, so it's going to be 5 weeks, 5 weeks long, starting on June the 12th. So I think my last session with my mentees with the Home Care Kickstarter is June the 16th. Thank you so much for following. So with that being said, anybody have any last questions? The link is already in my bio if you want to register for the Home Care Business School. It's called it's going to say Boss Up Challenge. We're bossing up or we're profiting up, whichever one. $4.99 for all 5 weeks. $4.99. And it includes your live sessions, your replays, and your worksheets. Yes, I do. I've done skilled and unskilled in Texas. I wanted to make it reasonable because this is for existing. So with my Home Care Kickstarter or my licensing program, we got to do way more development. But this is for existing business owners. This is for existing business owners. So that's the number, that's the amount. And just like with my Home Care Kickstarter, I don't want a lot of people in the class because I don't want it to feel like one of 1,000. So I think I might close it out at 30 people. Right now, the link is in my bio to get started and go from there. The price will increase to $6.99 on June the 9th, but you still have a lot of time. Yes. What state are you in? Oral Beauty. What state are you in? We do. Minnesota. So you can benefit from this if you're waiting to be credentialed, because there are some things that you can do in this program that we're having, the summer business school, that when you get credentialed, you will be able to start marketing to, your Medicaid case managers. And that's why I said this is specifically for people who are already licensed, already in business. Because I'm going to be I'm going to be talking to existing business owners. I'm not going to be laying foundation that you don't, that newbies don't have. So if you're not a existing business owner, that this program wouldn't be for you. This is for existing business owners. Any other questions before we jump on? Any other questions? All right. Well, thank you so much, guys, for joining me tonight. I haven't been on live recently, but I am going to get back on within the next day or two. If not, please make sure that you're following me. If you're on TikTok, please make sure you're following me on YouTube, my Savvy Business Chick YouTube channel. I have a lot more longer videos on that channel, and I'm going to be posting a little bit more content starting in June. That's something that God told me to do so that you guys have information that I always say this is a tight-lipped industry, but I'm here to help make things a lot more easier for you to understand. Take care. Bye.